Back on the old CJ5 turning into CJ6 project, and Buck and I are working on the front end, doing the spring over axle kit from Road Outfitters, and I'm going to get that hopefully done today and see how we go. So back on old Flex today, cutting off the old shock towers and making way for, we're going to do tubing on this section, so we're not going to be using the rocky roads on this. Just getting those ground down to make them look nice and clean. So we got these things ground down now. You can see the bolts now on both sides. So we should be able to hopefully pound them out. So this is not the funnest part of the job. Grinding and then hammering all day long. Not the wife's idea of a fun Saturday around the house. Hearing me out in the garage grinding and hammering away all day long. Well, I got these front shock tower mounts off now. I got those ground down. Nice and pretty on both sides now. So I got those off. Now back over, cutting off the rest of these side plates that my dad put on back in the day. And Buck had gotten these off on the very front end to get these front spring hangers off last weekend, but now I'm just getting these things all hammered out, pulled out, and just getting beat out of here. Damn. Well, my dad's farm weld sure held up good, man. This thing is on there. Holy smokes. Got one down, I gotta buff this up now. So driver's side, I got this thing down. I got a couple cracks right here where this frame had bent in on the driver's side. See a crack here, here, and here on there. And then I had welded it in here and then in here, so you can see now why it's moved in. And now we're over onto the passenger side. There we go, gee. Man. Man, how many hours is that? Well, finally the frame seems like one step, two steps forward, one step back. Gonna have to do a little bit of touch up, some welding, and weld the other side, then bend that side back on the driver's side. But now we're back on the front suspension now. Whew. Man. So we're gonna have to box this in on the inside and then reinforce this. Especially on the driver's side. All that load for the steering, man, really messes it up. Now I gotta drill these holes. Gotta drill 1, 2, 3. I got there's one on the bottom. And the passenger side's already Got most of it done. Just gotta do 2 more over here. There we go. Hey, where you going? Get back over here. I gotta do the bottom. Need to do a little bit of sweeping though, jeez. That's the pain in the butt. Get it up in there, jeez. Shackles down there. The passenger spring's on now. Still gotta do the bump stops in there. Mine were such bad shape I couldn't get them off, so I had to cut them off to get the old bump stops off. So I got to figure something else out because that's within the box tube on both sides of this thing. About as much fun as talk dirty to me. Why that one's not tight? The last two up front. Then we can do the start working on the U-bolts after that. Woo-wee. Drill, baby, drill. So now the front's on.
You've been walking with your shadow now for too long. I start to wonder where.
Get these shackles on, it'll be Hams 30. Have to do the U-bolts and on Sunday. And then I guess we'll straighten this back out first. Then get a game plan of how we're gotta re-weld this up, straighten this out, band it out, get it to the same width as the back, and then after that, then work on the the high steer. There. Got the front shackles on the bolt. They're all bolted in now. These are just loose, so we gotta see what we gotta do about, probably have to take these back on and back off a few times to screw with the U-bolts on the front the front axle. So hold up for that, and then we'll have to do the high steer kit after that. But that's it for today. See you guys in the morning. Back on the old flex wheel, gonna do a release cut in the bottom of the frame, because we have to, you see there, we're in like 1/8 of an inch out of the triangulated front suspension, so we gotta move the frame over 1/8 of an inch. We got to do a relief cut in the bottom, and then heat up the frame, and then bend it over. So we got the welder out, and we're going to come over and triangulate the bumper off the frame and support the passenger side, and then heat up the driver's side and move that over and get 1/8 of an inch so our suspension is all true. That way it drives straight down the highway. So that's what's going on this morning before we finish up the front suspension. Then once we're done with straightening out the frame, then we'll finish up the front suspension and get the tires back on. Then start on the high steer kit from Rocky Road. You ready?
Yep.
So I got this thing tacked there, then tacked over here, and then got a clamp on here. Then we relief cut this down here. Buckaroo did that, so we cut it in the bottom, and then we're gonna heat it up on both sides, and then bend her out. How much we bending out? Was it
1/8.
1/8 of an inch?
Yeah.
To get this thing squared up. Maybe the third time's a charm. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's what I was going for. I mean, you get it done the first time, then what the f?
That's way too
That's
easy.
not right, yeah. There we go.
So here we threw a tack on the bumper there to the driver's side, and then tacked it to the passenger side. That way it can't move this way at all. And then tack this on, then tack this plate on so we can push against that to pull and bring this frame out. Then we hit her back here and heated it up twice to kind of relax this and let this cool back down in the spot. So hopefully we won't have too much spring back. We'll see we'll try it one more time and see if we get spring back. And then if we do get some spring back, then we'll add that little bit extra and then heat it up again and then cool it. Let it cool down naturally and see where we get to at that point in time.
Existing, but see how this is?
Yeah.
That'll help determine where this goes, because this is nice and tight. So if we get this nice and tight, I think.
Yeah, we need to get the bolts back in then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll get the bolts back in, and yeah, looking at the bottom, either the jack or, I'm sorry. Oh, there we go.
So now we got the passenger side down up front. Got these tighten on there. Now onto the Now onto the driver's side. Oh, that's all cockeyed. That's funny. So I did have to do a little bit of grinding on these new spring perches that go into the front axle. I really didn't have to do too much on the back. I just had to do a little bit to the sides and the back once they sit on the axle and hold the springs down. But on the fronts, I did have to do a little bit of grinding on the front housing to get that perch to fit over the passenger side. Nice.
On the inside over here, Chad, it's like f***ing beautiful, man. It's hard. Left to right. This looks really nice. Very good.
So there's the front now.
And this, I mean, not that it matters. See how that's kind of out of the center?
Yeah.
This one's almost perfect. But it's in there. And they're flushed out. All right. You want me to hit this one up? Because now we're at 29 1/4.
Are we?
Yeah. Well, but I gotta tighten this guy up. Yep.
All right.
Good. Go. That's it.
Shake and bake.
29 1/4, baby.
That's what she said.
To pow. 29 1/4?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, I guess I never even paid attention to how, if it straightened up that piece. This looks straighter though.
Oh, dude, it looks way straighter.
Well, we got the suspension all done. Don't have the shocks mounted yet because we're coming off the body and triangulating, doing a hoop with tubing off the frame. So that's going to be a different setup on the shocks as far as the shock tower is concerned. So that's not getting hooked up, but she's back on all fours now. Got all the tires on. And so it's all good to go. Just got to put the high steer kit on next weekend. You looking forward to the high steer kit?
Yeah,